U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers provide masks in Texas and restart food distributions in California. A Tzu Chi volunteer in Taichung persists in sorting recyclables despite having dementia. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. The epidemic is still harsh in the U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers in Texas distributed masks in a drive-through manner. As for California, Tzu Chi has suspended the food distribution due to the pandemic, and many disadvantaged families have difficulty in living. Volunteers restarted the distribution in June, sending food to 300 families.
The long queue of cars is endless. These families are overwhelmed by the stress in life.
I got 2 children, so I lost my job 2 months ago because of the pandemic. So that's why I come to pick up the stuff for my children.
The vegetables and fruits distribution, which was suspended for 2 months because of the pandemic, started again to help the disadvantaged families. Volunteers in the community come to help.
Some people are running out of food, people are losing their houses. People are going homeless. It's really sad. So I'd like to do what I can to help people.
To provide food for 300 households, the pre-packaging operation takes a whole day. Zhan Yutao, who is in her 80s, is the oldest volunteer in the team. And during physical discomfort, she is still willing to give of herself.
I work so tired that I really have back pain, but I think it's very good. I like it because I can serve others.
Wrap some vegetables, fruits, rice, and some cereals. There are also a pick of 5 masks, because mask is hardly available now.
At the moment when mask is desperately needed and taking epidemic prevention into consideration, the distribution of masks is hosted in a drive-through manner.
This
time, the pandemic in Texas ranked in the top 10 of the United States. We started to enter the community to serve the disadvantaged, which is our target distribution.
The pandemic has caused many families to fall into the abyss of misery, yet the action of love gently comforts them.
Due to the pandemic, plans to celebrate the Dragon Boat Festival have been put on hold in different areas. However, Tzu Chi volunteers in Frankfurt, Germany decided to make zongzi for a charity sale in response to the holiday. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi Dallas Chapter in the United States is also hosting their annual vegetarian zongzi charity sale.
Tzu Chi Dallas Chapter continues with their vegetarian zongzi charity fundraiser this year, but due to the spread of COVID-19, the scale of their operation is not as big as before. Their passion towards this fundraiser, however, is still ever so strong.
We take turns. We're not able to make 10,000 like before. We just try our best to make them so that everyone can have vegetarian zongzi when celebrating at the end of the month.
Volunteers keep to social distancing protocol and wear masks while working. This time, a few Tzu Chings even joined in to make this holiday treat.
Learned a new skill. It was really fun. I still need a lot of practice though.
Each zongzi is sturdy and filled with plenty of goodness.
Actually, the Tzu Chi zongzi is very delicious because they are made with love. We hope this snack helps propel their path to vegetarianism.
They not only will receive vegetarian zongzi, but we will include masks to protect them. We will also promote our vegetarian vouchers and hope they may develop a habit for vegetarian eating.
Without advertising this year, the community residents came to purchase the snacks of their own accord as they acknowledge the importance in keeping to a plant-based diet.
我爱吃素
More veggie. More 素粽. Happy 粽子节.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Germany are also making vegetarian zongzi for the holiday.
I miss my mom very much. Thankfully, she taught me a tip on how to make zongzi, so I can put her skills to use here.
This is the first time we are doing a charity sale with zongzi. We hope to help those affected by COVID-19 with the money raised and also help the European Tzu Chi chapter here to raise some funds so we may help more people.
我看每一个，我看总共应该有500颗粽子吧。这么多啊！
Dragon Boat Festival 2020, as people are unable to meet up with their family or Dharma family to celebrate the holiday, these zongzi can make solo celebrations feel touching and inviting.
Because of COVID-19, Taiwan went from an importer of masks to the second largest exporter in the world. To do this, it relied on a number of machine tooling manufacturers to come together and serve the country at a critical moment. Some 29 machine tool manufacturers in Taichung's DaAi Technology Corridor contributed technical staff and their own tooling equipment to support Taiwan's domestic mask production capacity.
我要送给你们 个十百千万十万百万千1000万个硬币特颁奖章以资鼓励。
Team Taiwan and National Mass Production Team received thank you cards from all walks of life.
真的很温馨也很感动，因为能够得到小朋友，尤其是小朋友的一个感谢。
29 tool machine factories invested 2,500 people and built 92 production lines in 40 days. This legendary team started with a simple SMS message.
陈部长，你辛苦了。口罩短缺问题也让政府头痛。我将号召我们共济区的零组件的厂商为台湾人民贡献一份的力量。
We Taiwanese have a saying that a promise is weightier than 1,000 bars of gold. I said it is impossible to get it done within 2 months.
这个好像电影讲的 Mission Impossible.
It was really like the movie Mission Impossible. How could it be possible to do it in 25 days or complete it within a month?
一开始大概也不会说很有把握了。
I couldn't promise it at first, but we tried our best to work overtime at night.
Before this epidemic, 80% of Taiwan's masks were imports, so there were not many mass-producing machine factories left. The Ministry of Economic Affairs found 2 such manufacturers in New Taipei City, both of which were small in scale, with only single-digit machines and just a dozen employees. Machine tool manufacturers came forward to provide assistance. The first task was obtaining the trust of 2 mask factories to obtain key technology.
I swear that our industry couldn't produce masks.
29 machine tool operators sent 200 top staff to bring their own tooling to 2 small mask machine factories to assist in producing 92 mask machines.
Every staff from different companies wore their own uniforms as they came to work together.
Although this group of people comes from different places, they all share a common goal and common ideas. While it may be inconvenient for some over the short term, in fact the power we showed is great.
Without sufficient manpower and materials, AFEX transported dozens of machines from New Taipei City to Taichung. Within 3 days, all machines were connected to electrical sources.
I said I will lend the materials to you. You don't have to cancel the order with your suppliers. Just wait for the materials to arrive and return to me.
Seeing all the master technicians here, we should definitely be able to do it.
All these technicians didn't expect to be able to serve their country with their personal expertise.
This is to protect frontline personnel.
My kid told me, Daddy, you are a hero.
My wife feels like her husband is doing something great, and she really appreciates our hard work.
I'm actually quite proud to be able to serve the country and do whatever society needs.
The sense of mission has inspired many, and though they face time pressure, their quality yield rate exceeds the standard.
When the first mask came out, only one thing we could say, that was great.
The spirit of Taiwan is quite amazing.
The whole world wants to know how can Taiwan do it.
I think this response is owing to a very special social personality of Taiwanese. To put it simply, the first thing is doing the right thing. Especially when the country is in trouble, everyone feels obligated to contribute. The second thing, which is quite important, is that everyone unites together and doesn't want to lose to others.
When everyone is still appreciating the miracle of mass production, the machine tool manufacturers who depended upon exports had to face a severe test because the epidemic has collapsed their economy. The output value of the first quarter dropped by 25%, and some operators even had to apply to the government for relief aid.
I think what Taiwan lacks now is neither manufacturing capability nor cluster capability, but customer value creation capability.
In the process of epidemic prevention, Taiwan's machine tool industry has written a new history in forming this unprecedented industrial alliance. Many expect this heroic team to continue to survive despite current difficulties and continue to be the glory of Taiwan.
Shi Biluan is a Tzu Chi volunteer in Taichung. She suffers from slight dementia, yet she still remembers to go to recycling station every day. Let's meet this dedicated senior.
Shi Bilun's daily routine is very regular. She rides a motorbike to the recycling station every day.
It takes me just over 10 minutes to arrive here.
Soon after she arrives, without taking any rest, she first washes the plastic bags with rainwater. The cleaned plastic bags are needed to be dry. Shi Bilun adds quickly and diligently to do recycling.
She never forgets to volunteer in hospital or at the recycling station. Yet, she always forgets her own things, like her keys, cell phone, or her bag.
Shi Bilun suffers from mild dementia and needs to take medication on time.
This is the key of my home because I will forget.
Her key is hung in front of the chest, and her bag is carried at her back when doing recycling because she once forgot the way home.
That's what I often do. Of course, I won't forget. I will never forget during recycling.
71-year-old Shi Bilun had a tough life in her early years. Her eldest daughter died of illness a month after birth, and her husband had an affair with another woman, making her once have the thought of committing suicide before.
I wanted to jump once just because my kids called my mom to hold me back.
She worked as a cleaner to raise 3 children. After retirement, she devoted herself in the field of volunteer work. Even though her memory is getting worse and everything can be forgotten, she said she will never forget doing recycling for the rest of her life.
I am very happy. This is the happiest time in my life. Tzu Chi volunteer Zheng Yayan once lost all her money, so she worked even harder to make money, but something still seemed missing. It wasn't until she met Tzu Chi in 2008 that she finally felt fulfilled.
走入慈济，感觉到我找到我的家。
She rides her bicycle to the Tzu Chi cultivation grounds each day, as sorting recyclables is Zheng Yayan's life.
Paper scraps like this shouldn't be treated as garbage. You shouldn't discard it for its size. It's still the resource of the earth, so I'm picking it up for recycling later. We both cherish blessings. When we see clean cooking oil left in bottles, we'll pour it out and save it.
Her ways have earned her the nickname Sister Stingy, as her peers support her wholeheartedly on this mission to safeguard the planet.
我们该省要省。
If we can save, we should, but if it's our time to give, we should as well.
She lives a simple but dedicated life, as she has to collect recyclables from stores, just as she has been for many years now.
Her name is Ya Yan and I'm Ya Xiang. I see her as a sister. When she treats recyclables as a treasure, it helps me to gain new insight into things. I like it.
Her thrifty ways stem from hardships in the past. The hard-earned money she and her husband invested in didn't pan out, and they had to find part-time jobs to make a living. Money was tight, and Jen found life hacks to save money, such as everyone standing in a large basin or container to shower.
The first shower is here, and there's a container here for the second time. Then as the water is still clean, I use that to wash clothes.
It seems using an item to its fullest is in her DNA, as her belt is a prime example. She plans to use it for a few more years.
孩子会感觉到说，妈妈，我们什么时候才会脱贫？
My kid once said to me, Mom, when will be out of poverty? Are we poor? Why must we live like this? I'll tell them that we may not be rich in terms of material wealth, we're rich in spirit. We've long left poverty behind.
我们的心灵很富有，所以我们不穷啊，我们早就脱贫了。
Having a taste of the bitterness of life is sweet sailing from here on out. Riding her bicycle to carry out good deeds, she blooms like the jasmine flower, giving out a sweet and rich fragrance, refreshing those she comes into contact with.
In China, Tzu Chi care recipient Zhang Chunyan became paralyzed after suffering from cerebral hemorrhage. Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for this family for 3 years, and they promise to reciprocate the love.
You are so comfortable and blessed. Your mother cares for you. You are very fortunate.
26-year-old Zhang Chunyan became paralyzed due to cerebral hemorrhage. She relies on the care of her parents.
这样照顾她多少年了？
6年了。 After Tzu Chi volunteers started to care for this family 3 years ago, Zhang's mother could finally feel a bit relief. The volunteers' care and visit have brought changes to Zhang's life and physical condition.
She does not have strength and she is very fat. I told her that she should adopt a vegetarian diet. She has changed her diet. Now she is not as fat.
怎么这么喜欢师姐们来看你啊？
因为我们是一家人啊。
They are like our siblings. They are closer to us than our relatives. My daughter also likes to have you come visit.
Zhang learns to express her love for her mother. The mother-daughter pair also promised the volunteers that they'll eventually help other less fortunate people.
In Taiwan's Luzhu, a 78-year-old senior lives alone in an old house. Due to his disability, his house is out of shape and he has no energy to repair and clean. Tzu Chi volunteers decided to give him a new environment.
师姐有来访视，那个碧兰师姐问我说需要帮忙什么的，然后我就请师姐说，我们可不可以说帮忙我大哥清一下家里。
78-year-old Mr. Xu lives in a 2-floor house alone. He had surgery and suffered from sarcopenia in these 2 years, so he's unable to walk. The house doesn't seem like a home.
There was a water pipe on the top, and the water could not come out here because it was blocked on top. So it all went into the house, and the entire house is wet.
He was a care recipient of Huashan Foundation, but was referred to Tzu Chi last month. Volunteers have visited him many times and decided to help him clean and repair this month.
You can't say you are tired from the job. We must do it joyfully. We should be joyful that we have this opportunity to serve.
Learning from the brothers and sisters is also a feedback from giving.
We are so grateful because without Tzu Chi's help, I wouldn't know what to do. I will go there to do the work again after finishing here.
A week after the cleaning, volunteers came again to conduct another mission.
We will lock this door off for you so you can move your shower chair inside. It's more convenient and easier for you with the accessive device. You can walk into the bathroom and see if it's easy to use.
Mr. Xu's simple response represents his full-hearted thankfulness for volunteers' hard work. Mr. Zhang, who lives in Taichung, became paralyzed after falling from a height at work 20 years ago. 5 years ago, Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital began to care for him. Recently, Superintendent Jian Shouxin led his colleagues and volunteers to clean and paint his house.
Employees of Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital and Tzu Chi volunteers came to Mr. Zhang's house with some cleaning tools. They moved the furniture outdoors. Under the high temperatures, cement paint is being prepared, and soon everyone worked together to paint the walls of Mr. Zhang's house.
We always help patients in the hospital do rehabilitation, but if we go to the case's home, we can really walk into his living environment and see their situation.
39-year-old Mr. Zhang fell from a height when he was walking 20 years ago, causing his whole body to be paralyzed as he later closed himself off.
If it were not the superintendent and Tzu Chi volunteers who took me out for rehabilitation, I would not be what I am now.
Mr. Zhang lives on the first floor. The walls are old and molded. His parents are old and unable to clean up or paint.
The collection of love not only makes him open and bright, but also the home environment can be open and bright, so everyone is here to help and feel good.
The painting wall looks completely new. After cleaning the environment, the house is now clean, and the hearts of those who live here can be more open and peaceful.
Wang Jianchang, the bread shop owner in Tainan, has joined Tzu Chi for 20 years. He turned his store into an all-vegetarian bread shop to promote vegetarianism in the community. He was once addicted to the stocks and had lost a great fortune. Since then, he had realized that only being content and learning to give can make one's life valuable and joyful. The machine is swirling the doughs. However, what's special about these breads is that it was added with vegetarian oil, which costs higher.
I used to make both vegetarian and non-vegetarian breads. They told me that I shouldn't mix them both together. So since 20 years ago, I started to make all vegetarian breads when no one was doing it.
Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Jianchang turned his bread store into an all-vegetarian store 20 years ago. Back then, bread was only $8 NT a piece. However, he had suffered great loss in the stock market. That's when life gave him a wake-up call.
When I was young, I'm very into expensive cars. Like what the master said, you would never be satisfied, so we should learn to give.
Now he's more open-minded and not always thinking of making a lot of money like he used to.
This one is salty with vegetarian stuff in it. It's delicious and not greasy. I buy it often.
Although the income is not as much as selling the non-vegetarian breads, however, Wang Jianchang has been persisting on making vegetarian pastries to promote vegetarianism because it made him feel calm and safe. Tzu Chi Elementary School graduates follow the traditions of planting a tree on the campus and wrote down a letter for their future selves. Take a look and see you next time.